What's up guys, it's Ryan. Today in this video, I'm going to show you 5 premium venture capital websites that you can use as inspiration for your next website design project. What made this site interesting is not just because they look good, but also how they use visual language to communicate trust, credibility, and innovation. These are the quality that matters a lot when you are asking investors to put millions of dollars in your business. So let's go. This is Vala, a venture capital company focusing on financial technology companies. The hero section communicates directly who they are and what they are about. What immediately caught my eye is the 2-column layout. It creates a really nice balance and contrast, while still making the content easy to focus on. On the left, we have the brand logo highlighted with this slow-moving gradient. On the right, we have the description text sitting on a clean white background. What I like about this decision is the contrast. The gradient gives the brand a sense of movement, technology, and innovation, but the text stays still and readable. So the website creates visual energy without sacrificing clarity. The logo feels expressive and modern, while the serif typeface in the copy adds a more sophisticated and editorial feeling. So already we have two sides of brand working together, innovation and credibility. As we scroll to the next section, we see the background shifting effect, and the masonry grid moves at a different speed, which is very visually pleasing. Continue scrolling to the team section. The text appears as soon as we reach the section and stick to the top while we scroll. This slow review motion gives the website a more premium and polished feeling. And when we hover on each team member card, the text appears. I also found this quite interesting because the text is aligned to the right. This creates a strong sense of proximity because the content feels visually connected to each person's card. It naturally helps us to group the image and information together. Finally, we reach the footer where they show the team and the brand again. One thing I would know is that they don't have a obvious CTA on the website. So as a potential client and founders, I don't know how to contact them. Maybe the website is designed more like a pitch deck rather than a lead generation website. I'm not too sure. But overall, the website communicates the value proposition clearly and provides the essential content for its target audience. The overall vibe is high-end, innovative, and sophisticated. Moving on to the next website, we have AMD Group, a holding company based in Saudi Arabia. The opening of this website is very well sequenced. Watching everything unfold in slightly different rhythm adds a special groove to the website. It feels very satisfying to watch in my opinion. Similar to Vala, this website also uses the moving gradient effect on the site. But what makes this site stand out for me is how they use the bento style layout to divide the hero section into 3 parts. I think it's quite unique and interesting. I especially like the interaction when hovering on the left section. The intentionally cropped text creates a curiosity and makes you want to hover to see more. The color palette is also very interesting. It uses this muted olive green, which feels grounded, mature, and reliable. At the same time, the moving gradient expresses innovation and openness to new ideas. This makes a lot of sense because they are targeting innovative and influential companies. I also find interesting that when you switch the website to Arabic, the whole layout moves to the opposite direction because the language itself reads from right to left. As we scroll to the next section, there are some subtle scroll speed changes on the hero text. We are also seeing a beautiful word-by-word text staggering effect, which adds rhythm and makes the content feel more dynamic. This section uses white space and color really well to create focus and visual hierarchy. In this next section, we see the business timeline presented in the same bento layout, with sticky scrolling and the card stacking effect. In my opinion, this is quite stylish. As we continue scrolling, we reach what it feels like to be a feature or philosophy section where the text moves in from the side while scrolling. The way the text is arranged gives the feeling of step-by-step journey. I think it's a very creative way to turn the business message into a visual process. The typography also supports the identity of the website. They use PP New Montreal, which gives the brand a clean, temporary, and slightly editorial feeling. And next, they show in the numbers and portfolios. And finally, the footer. Content-wise, I think they did a really good job. They communicate clearly what they are about, who they are, and their track records, and a way to contact them. And the whole website could also work like a pitch deck for potential investors because everything is clearly divided into sections. What I like about this website is the storytelling approach. They maintain a consistent layout throughout the site, and the animation have a very nice rhythm. That makes the whole experience feel intentional and premium. Overall, the site made me feel very grounded, reliable, and creative. This is Protein, an investment company in Stockholm, Sweden. Straight away in the hero section, we see a lot of artistic video clips playing in the background. I'm not completely sure if these clips are directly related to their vision or investment strategy, but I think they work very well with the headline, "Ready for Change." The typography choice is also really strong. They are using a font called Rhyme Display, which is a modern serif font with unique shapes. It gives the brand a creative premium and professional personality. As we scroll, we see a simple, clear mission statement with font update right below it. I like the monochromatic scheme because it helps me focus on the content without too many distractions. The subtle animation also keep the website engaging without doing too much. Then we arrive at the footer where they use big typography to display their name. We can also see clocks for different Nordic countries, which are probably related to their main audience or market focus. So content-wise, I think the website communicates clearly what they're about, their track records and their report, which help build trust. Overall, I really like this minimalistic approach. You use very basic elements like layouts, colors, typography, and media assets like images and videos. All of this make the website feel simple, professional, and trustworthy. Next, we have Sofinnova Partners, a venture capital company specializing in healthcare and sustainability. We got a clean hero section with big headline that has a rotating text for different sectors. Very good tactics when you want to present more than one service, concept, or target audience without making the hero section too crowded. As we scroll through, we have this two-column layout with this line on the left and company bio on the right. Very interesting way to guide the eye on the text here. Then we reach to the strategy sections. What I really like here is the storytelling approach used to transition into the new section. As we continue scrolling, a circle appears and locks into the same position as the headline. Then it slowly expands to fill the background with a different color, while the headline moves to the left. There are many details and movement right here, and it is very cool in my opinion. And we keep scrolling. The headlines stick to the top and the strategy cards stack one by one. There is also an interactive element on the right side in the background. Very effective way to introduce different pieces of information while keeping visitors engaged. Then we see their track records presented in a big bold text. This is another effective way to emphasize the most important information. Right below it, they introduce the team member and news. I like the subtle hover effect here. The typography looks pretty good as well. They are using two sans serif font, Monroe and Swiss Intel. I'm not too sure how to pronounce it, but finally we arrive at the footer with a big contact us button. Unique hover effect on the button. I think it's very creative, and honestly I would love to figure out how to build something like this in Framer. Content wise, I think the website communicates very well to its target audience. It covers many details about the company, including the strategy, who they are, what they're about, and how to contact them. Overall, the website gives me a very bold, innovative, and approachable vibe. Finally, we have Social Impact Capital, a venture capital company specializing in impact investing. The hero section immediately established an institutional grade vibe. The bold color gives the site a formal and professional feeling. The elegant serif font gives the brand a high-end and sophisticated personality. What makes the website stand out for me is the illustration style. The headline says, "We invest in founders impacting history." The illustrations support the idea beautifully. We see elements of nature, animals, people, architecture, and planet. Together, I think they communicate the idea of the history, time, and impact. As we scroll, the text appears line by line in a very satisfying way. There's also a text scrolling effect that helps guide our eyes as we read. Below that, we see a scrolling animation where more beautiful illustrations come together. This is a very nice way to break up the sections and keep the site visually interesting. Then they show their investment portfolio, linking the companies they back. After that, we have a classic CTA sections. Below the CTA, they introduce the founders. When we hover, we can even see her picture. Again, the illustration is beautiful, and it even matches the style of her outfit, which makes the whole brand feel very consistent. Then we have a social proof section. The visual hierarchy here is very nicely done by the use of different colors and typography that highlights the important information. After that, we see another illustration moment to break up the sections, followed by the article section, and finally, we are reaching the footer. I have to say this website demonstrates a very strong personality. I think these illustrations are probably hand-drawn, which makes the whole experience feel more personal and unique. Content-wise, the website communicates who they are, what they're about, what they believe in, and their track record. So overall, I think this is a very well-designed website. This site has an elegant, professional, institutional type of feeling, which can sometimes feel a little bit distant. But this hand-drawn illustration brings a more personal and human touch. And that's it for today's video. I hope this gives you guys some inspiration for your next design project. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more website inspiration and framework design content. And let me know in the comment section which one is your favorite, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.